Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the A Collision with Purpose project under the spotlight. Here, individuals are given the opportunity to explore self in pursuit of their purpose. I am DrLaxley Stephenson, and I'm your host. The A Collision with Purpose project allows individuals to pause, take a quiet moment and listen, be introspective, and engage self-reflection in pursuing their purpose to unleash possibilities with far-reaching implications for self and others. Today, the A Collision with Purpose project spotlight is on Mr. Nafis Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed is a real estate professional. So let us welcome back to the A Collision with Purpose project.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, honestly, and it's great to be here. Like genuinely, like I think I messaged you like a couple days after, a week following, where I wanted to come back on your call because it's like therapy for me speaking to you, in the sense where I'm able to speak my mind, and it makes things easier for me to, pinpoint certain things about myself where, it gives me pleasure to change for the better.
And should you in open to change and to
Yeah,
change,
exactly. Yes, definitely. You have to be.
and
You have.
you're also contributing and affecting others
Hmm.
in a positive way so that they too.
Hmm. Yeah, and like I'm a lot of this way that I perceive life as of now, it's due to like certain talks like this, right? Because I'm looking at other YouTube videos of certain other individuals that are speaking about life, just human nature, why people do certain things, how to get out of a certain, situation, in the sense of where people put themselves in their own headspace, right? So I watch a lot of these podcasts of other individuals where those podcasts has changed who I am, right? It gave me basically like a manual to kind of use as like steering myself in the right path. Obviously, I have to take control of the steering wheel and, control the steering wheel to where I want to be. So that's why I'm glad to be here. I rewatch myself. I hope to be able to, share some insight to other people that may need it, or you pick something up from you.
And I think, the significant thing about a conversation
Hmm.
that all participants
Hmm.
can learn.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Can't be because there's so much to life, right? I feel like even myself, like we've lived life in like a box, in the sense where there's so much out of the box, right? That you just have to kind of step out of it and, reach for it. And it could be adventurous in the sense. It could be adventurous in the sense of being somebody new, right? You could be somebody today, you could be completely someone else tomorrow, right? And it's up to you who you want to be. Whether you want to be a good person or you could be a bad person. At the end of the day, it's all up to what you want.
It's certainly up to you as you are the captain of your ship.
Yep. And that can lead people into places that people don't want to be, right? In the back of their head, right? Because it may not be the destination that you want to be a part of, or want to be at. And yeah, I couldn't. And it's hard to get out of that, honestly, because this is a point where like it's just bad habits that form when it's in the sense where somebody else is, controlling that path of, steering the wheel, right? In the sense where it puts you in the autopilot position where bad habits form along the way. And, just to the point where like me, who I am, I'm 26 years old, right? To the point where 20 years, just bad habits kept building up, right? And it's to the point where like uh we think that's just a part of who we are, and unwinding all of that is I genuinely believe is one of the hardest things that you could do in life. Changing the way that you've been, you know, been put together to be somebody else. It's very tough. And, I applaud for anybody that's done it, because it's not easy to be change yourself to be somebody else, to be who you want to be for whatever it is, right? It's a very tough road. I applaud anybody for doing it. I'm still trying to do it.
And I know I think we should all be living in that, living through that process of change, right? Because
Yeah,
we're never where we want to be.
yeah, never. But it's to the point where like I feel like how would I put it? It's tough in the beginning, right? And it's tough throughout, but it's to the point where like these obstacles do make you stronger, right? It gives you to the point where like um bumps after bumps that we've spoken about before, you get comfortable to it, right? It's to the point where let's say you start from 0%, right? You get to 20, it's a little tough, but once you get to like that midpoint, it's to the point where you kind of start falling in love with the process. For me anyway, right? It's for me anyway that it's got to a point where I believe I can manifest anything I want to do, right? And it's come to the point where like I realize that through whatever it is, there's always going to be obstacles. It's not going to be like a, straight path to, you know, the good side of the things that I want to do. There's going to be a lot of bumps where those bumps you start to just start finding paddings to deal with it. And it's to the point where like after every situation that you go through in life, whether it be good or bad, it gives you a different perspective. Like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep going. That's it, right?
And I think it's all about hope, right? Knowing that there is.
Yeah. You have to, yeah, it is hope. You have to be hopeful, because if you're not and you're trying to do something, manifestation is pretty much being hopeful, right? It's to the point where like that it's in your head of believing in yourself to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, right? And you, regardless of the failure that occurs along the path, where let's say right now, whatever I'm doing, it's just constantly failing, right? But me having that idea of knowing that one day it's gonna work out is good enough for me to keep it pushing, right? Because that one day is eventually going to come, right? And that's it. Keep it pushing.
Right, just know that there's sunlight at the end of the road, and to
Hmm.
reach for it and the
Hmm.
possibilities.
Exactly. Right.
It's, it's
Hmm.
just more. It's just reason to go after it, right there.
Hmm. Yeah. Because you're halfway there. Why do you want to backtrack, right? Backtracking is something that can lead to a life of regret that you don't want, right? When later down the line, all you think about is like, why didn't I push it forward? Why did I give up? And all that stuff. That's the feeling that I genuinely don't want to ever go through, right? Because I feel like I have been there, but it's to the point where like I've come to that realization of not wanting to be there anymore, right? I don't want to regret anything. Whether I'm gonna keep trying till it, even if it keeps failing, I'll still keep attempting in one way or another. And yeah, that's it. Like there's this thing that I don't know who said it. Someone told me like so many people go to business school, right? And a teacher was telling their student a business fails, 3 out of 10 times or something of the sort, where there's one individual that kept failing like on their 10th time, but on their 11th time they were able to get it together and they became successful in the sense, right? And successful is relative, right? It doesn't mean career, it doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't mean money. It means, in my terms of success, is being better than who you were yesterday. right? That's what I consider success. I don't consider success if, if you're a millionaire or whatever. If that's what you work for, good for you, right? I'm happy for you because it's not easy, right? Whatever it is that you put your mind to and you achieved, it was not easy. I could be looking at it from a out from the outside perspective. I don't know which, certain individual went through to be able to get what they want. I know that the stuff that I'm trying to do in the sense where they may not see it from their perspective, I know that I went through a lot to be able to get what I want, right? Same thing for them.
It's important to walk in your own shoes.
Yeah.
It's
It's very important. Nobody can walk in your own shoes, and you can't really walk in anybody else's, right? You could only take into account of what they've went through from experiences that they went through, right? Because how would I put it? Everybody's life is a book. You can learn little incremental stuff that they went through in their experience of life in their book and apply it to your own where it could be beneficial to you, right? And certain experiences that they went through, it may be similar to you, but even their experiences of whatever it is, it may not be applicable about, in your life where sure it may be a similar experience, but it's something that you have to go through in a sense to be able to really understand what their experiences was. To then actually apply their experience to your own experience, right? That's something that I picked up as well, right? Juan, right? Juan, for example, or like a lot of the stuff, like I'm so grateful for him. Like I'm genuinely very grateful to actually stumble into one where the stuff he's doing a very great thing to the point where like he's genuinely changing lives from that people may not really even know about, right? Even people possibly in his life. He doesn't know that he's changing so many individuals' life. Me, for one, I'm definitely very grateful for that, where he said a lot of things where I didn't really take into account in the sense of like whatever it is that he's teaching me, right? He said one thing, or like even certain other individuals in his group that he's mentored, they've said certain things where I didn't really grasp till I actually put myself in that position of getting, mentally, getting my ass kicked in a sense where now I understand what they were speaking about, and just knowing that they are one kind of steered me, helped me give that, the guide map, right? And me seeing that and actually realizing that I have to control the steering wheel. I can't let one control the steering wheel the entire time. Like I honestly, I'm just grateful for one. That's it. He's one individual that has changed my life throughout.
and you should tell him that.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. He definitely knows. But I still say it. I'm like honestly, I'm bombarding him with messages here and there, and whenever I'm just feeling, either a little down or if I'm ecstatic about certain thing that I did, I just go straight to one. I blow up his Telegram, whatever I can, and that's it.
And it's okay to feel a
Yeah,
little.
exactly. Yeah, it's gratitude is never bad, right? And it's knowing that and being able to just show him that gratitude. I feel like it may push him to do more, right? In the sense where like it pushes him to do better, right, for himself. Where
And
I believe it.
I'm not in a position to speak for him, but
Hmm.
I would venture to guess that as begin to take on a mentorship role and
Hmm.
mentoring others, that would make him feel very good to see
Hmm.
how he transfer his goodwill,
Hmm.
and through you to others. And
Hmm.
that's how you keep it moving.
Yeah, that's true. Hmm.
Something that you should be very aware of and be open to.
What do you mean exactly? Just to be
You
clarified.
know, as he mentored you, you should
Mhm.
be looking to do the same for others.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the sense where I do try to help certain individuals, right? But more so where I would rather have. It's to the point where like I don't like. How would I put it? If someone that I know actually genuinely wants help, right? I genuinely don't mind going out of my way to being able to help them, but I would steer them in the right direction of, let's say, I would pinpoint them towards one, right? If they're really serious about changing their life, I would straight up just, situate it to the point where like I would let one take control because it's the point where one is great at what he does, right?
Mhm,
I feel like he's one of the best teachers in the sense of just teaching somebody, right? Because I haven't really come across a teacher like that in the sense where just teaching what they know about, right? He's done it in a way where he's very great at what he does. And that's very hard. That's one thing I realized. Like, there's certain things that I may go through that I may pick up that I'm good at, right? But I may not be the person that be right to teach a certain individual. Sure, certain insights I could share, but really being able to teach that certain thing, I may not be fit for it. Where right now, currently, I may not be fit for it, but down the line, as I keep growing, possibly, I'm definitely down in being able to do that. But for now, I don't mind swinging it to, the main source of
mhm.
that's
And,
it.
as you grow, as you grow, you'll
Mhm,
find that even without making an intentional, deliberate attempt,
mhm,
you will
mhm,
find that your words
mhm,
and things that you do, you may very well be mentoring others.
mhm.
The
Yeah.
mentor process is not necessarily a direct one. It's
Mhm,
like you say you watch podcasts and you're learning from those podcasts.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to affect others.
Yes, 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 yes. Mhm,
Just be open, because you may very well be driven in that direction and not just aware that maybe you're learning,
mhm,
growing just for that. And that will become one of your purpose.
mhm.
Never
No,
know.
I could see that. Me being on the call previously, it's to the point where like I felt joy out of it, right? Being able to just speak. Where I do, for me, in my nature of things, I do genuinely think I find pleasure in being able to help another individual, right? It's not even to the point where like I do it out of wanting credit or gratitude out of it. It's just seeing able to see somebody help themselves. It's something where it feels great, right? It's to the point where like me, I was an individual for before 2.5 years ago, as I mentioned before. I was somebody that never accepted the help. There was a lot of individuals that wanted to help me, right? It's to the point where I wouldn't participate in my own rescue of it. But if I was willing to participate in my own rescue and I actually accepted, you know, others' help, it would have been great for me, right? But I feel like now that I'm in that position of actually coming to a place where I could help an individual if they were actually looking for it, and it would feel great, right?